A lot of people ask me how I still have time for hobbies, even though I manage a full-time job, go to college full-time, and I go to the gym, meal prep, and they just wonder how I live my life. And honestly, it's not because I have more time than anyone else, but it's because I'm intentional with the time that I do have. Today I'm breaking down exactly how I make that work. So, the biggest thing that changed everything for me was realizing that time doesn't magically appear. You have to make it for yourself. Working full-time and going to school full-time can easily feel overwhelming, but instead of asking, do I have time, I started asking, what matters most today? I stopped seeing hobbies as optional things. They're not extras, they're what keep me sane and keep me a person. So rock climbing, working out, running, photography, those aren't distractions from productivity, they fuel it. Rock climbing is one of my favorite outlets for stress or just anything in general, physically and mentally. It just challenges me to think about everything. So it focuses me to be present during the task. When I'm on the wall, I'm not thinking about work or assignments, I'm just focused on the next hold and trying not to fall. Same thing with working out and running. Fitness isn't just about staying in shape. It's a stress relief. After a long day of work or classes, moving my body resets my brain. The key, I schedule workouts like appointments. They're non-negotiable. Even if it's just 45 minutes, I still show up. Meal prepping. So I wanted to talk a little about meal prepping, because honestly, it's one of the biggest time hacks I have in my life. Instead of scrambling every single day, wondering what I'm going to eat next, I spend a couple hours prepping for the week. That saves time, money, and mental energy that I can focus on other things, not worrying about what I'm going to eat or if I can hit my certain macros. And when you're juggling work and school, mental energy is everything. It also supports my fitness goals and keeps me consistent. Running and mental clarity. Running is where I do some of my best thinking. If I'm stressed about an exam or something at work, I go for a run. By the time I'm done, the problem usually feels smaller, or I figured out a solution. It just allows me to think clearer, especially if I have music. It just takes away all the distractions. Movement clears the mental clutter. And I just want to talk a little bit about photography and videography, what I'm doing right now. Photography and videography are huge creative outlets for me. School and work are structured, there are deadlines, rules, expectations. But when I'm behind the camera, it allows for creative freedom. It lets me document my life, my travels, my progress, and it reminds me that busy season is part of a bigger story. And honestly, creating content like this keeps me accountable. It pushes me to keep growing and still allows me to have deadlines, but allows me to have that freedom to adjust them when I need. And starting content creation, it's just a big thing I've always wanted to do since I was younger. And I've always pushed it off and procrastinated, but I decided I'm going to stop doing that and just get to work. So recently I've taken photography and videography a step further, and I've started creating content. Not because I have extra time, but because I realized I was already living those experiences worth documenting, so I figured, why not just put it all together into a video and share it with other people? Content creation isn't about just posting videos, it's about storytelling, sharing the process, not just the highlights. Working full-time, going to college full-time, training, climbing, running, traveling. That's real life. Most people need to see that growth that doesn't happen in perfect conditions. Starting content creation has actually made me more disciplined. Now I think in terms of how can I document this? What lesson can I pull from today? Or how can this help somebody else in a similar situation? It's pushed me to be more intentional with my time because I wanted to create something meaningful and not just consume hours and hours of content. Doom scrolling made me want to just get outside or stay inside and just get some work done. And honestly, content creation has made the grind more fun. It turns out ordinary days into parts of a bigger journey. And then how I actually manage it, practical breakdowns. So here's what it really comes down to. Time blocking. If it's not scheduled, it probably won't happen. I'm talking from experience because I have a lot of things I want to do and I set my mind to, but I never schedule out the time, so it never works out. Cutting low value time, like endless scrolling, mindless TV. I just want to get more intentional with living life. Stop just sitting, watching TV, or scrolling on my phone for hours. Just actually document my life and what I'm doing. And some studying hacks or stacking habits that I do is gym after work, study before class, edit videos during downtime. That's just kind of how I do it. I have to move my schedule around to fit these hobbies into them, and it's just a part that I have to do. And you also just have to accept that nothing's going to be perfect. It's not every day is balanced. Some are heavy on work, some are heavy on school. Balance happens over weeks, not hours. You can't just expect perfection in a little bit of time that you put in. And bettering myself is another thing I've always wanted to do. At the end of the day, I'm doing all this because I do want to better myself. Physically, mentally, creatively, and financially. Working full-time builds discipline. College creates knowledge. Hobbies build a person. And together, they build who I am. So, in conclusion, you don't need more time. You need clarity on what matters in life. You can work full-time, you can go to school full-time, you can chase your goals and still live your life. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional and putting in the work that needs done when it's due. If you're in a busy season, keep going. It's building you. I know it might be hard, but trust me, in the end, it's all worth it.